Home Affairs Minister Claire O'Neil revealed this week that security agencies have disrupted an Iranian operation to surveil an expat, an Australian citizen on Australian soil. This comes after months of protests in Iran led by women, which began as a protest against oppressive hijab laws but has grown to an anti-regime uprising. One local politician who has stood with the women of Iran is Claire Chandler, Liberal Senator for Tasmania, and she joins me now. Claire, this is a disturbing revelation by the Home Affairs Minister to learn that Tehran is trying to monitor the home of an Iranian Australian. And knowing a thing or two about the Islamist regime in Iran, I would suggest this is not an isolated incident.
Well, thanks so much for having me on the show, Rita. And that's right. These are very disturbing revelations by the Home Affairs Minister this week. But I'm glad that finally the government is recognising that, like you say, there are members of our Iranian diaspora in Australia who are being monitored and harassed and intimidated, we suspect by the Iranian regime themselves. It's a very concerning report, and I've been aware of this issue for some time now because through my involvement with these issues, whether it's speaking to the Iranian community or chairing an inquiry into the violence in Iran, we've continued to hear stories of this happening. So glad to see the government waking up to the issue, but I think there are some serious questions for them to answer now in terms of what they're going to do to stop it, whether or not charges have been laid against any individuals. There is a lot more that can be done here.
Now, we do know with the Iranian regime, they do go further than just surveillance. In the US, there's been incidents of activists having threats against their life. We've seen kidnapping attempts. So this is something that I would imagine would greatly concern those expat Iranians. And also, what are going to be the ramifications for their families back in Iran?
That's exactly right. And I think all Australians should be really concerned about this foreign interference that we're seeing, not only because it is frankly horrific that members of our community are being subjected to this, but also because fundamentally this intimidation occurs in an effort to undermine or intimidate these people out of protesting. And in a country where we can all speak very freely and all have democratic rights, I think that that should be concerning to everyone, that people are being intimidated and harassed out of having their say and putting their views forward about a regime that we all know is up to no good.
Now to the radical gender madness that we are seeing, and the activists in this area have really not just captured academia, but large sections of the so-called scientific community. And I say so-called because these are experts who can't tell you what a woman is, and now they're calling for the words male and female to be phased out in science because, well, those words reinforce the idea that sex is binary. Claire, guess what they want to use instead of female? The suggestion here is egg producing. Can you think of anything more insulting and dehumanising?
Oh, absolutely not, Rita. And this is just the woke mob striking again. But I think what's most disappointing about this is that now it's coming from the science community. I mean, we know that biology matters, and particularly in medical fields, it really matters to be able to say what the difference is between a man and a woman, because male and female bodies are different, and that has implications for how we provide medical treatment. So just really crazy that this sort of thing has taken hold in a profession that really should be fact and science based.